I believe that the American kind of tipped their hand as to what the TV executives want and what the commissioners want too, because I think they're kind of leaning more towards the Big Ten strategy. What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master of Football, back at it again. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be updated on all things EA college football, subscribe to this channel right now. I also do some pro football, college football, and Madden videos as well. Please hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate that. Oh, the quest for half a K. Bugs all over the place. Quest for half a K. 500. We're almost there. Get me there, okay? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all that stuff. I'd really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, here I am in Sealy Lake, Montana on my vacation. But again, I had to come to the people, let them know some things. I wanted to discuss some recent comments by my boy, George Kliavkoff. I say my boy because he's nobody's boy at this point, right? I feel like everybody other than 10 chancellors and presidents at Pac-10 schools right now like him. Everybody else hates him. I want to address some of his things that he said because I actually think it feeds into another conversation that we need to have right now, particularly between the SEC and the Big Ten. Let's get in those comments. So here we are with Yahoo.com. Pac-12 Commissioner George Kliavkoff. We are actively exploring expansion. This was Friday the 29th, just this last week. Now you're saying, okay, so first of all, can you even expand? I actually made a video about that yesterday. If they would, who they would add. Go check that out. But again, I want to make sure that I bring this line up right here. He says, we are actively exploring expansion opportunities. As we consider these opportunities, we will look at media value. That's the first thing he said. Academic strength, academic and cultural fit, and geography from a recruiting and student athlete experience standpoint. As you would expect, we have had significant interest and in the process of evaluating our opportunities. He also mentioned that, we haven't decided whether or not we're going to go shopping in the Big 12 anymore. And I don't think anybody really took that seriously, or they were kind of annoyed with that situation. But I actually want to check this out because that is a greater analysis or a greater opportunity for us to check into the analysis of the SEC and the Big Ten, because those are the big two of the block right now. They're making a lot of shots right now. As a matter of fact, I believe that Oregon and Washington are actively waiting to see whether or not they can get invited to the Big Ten. They're kind of crossing their fingers on that. So whatever deal they sign with the Pac-12 going forward, it's not going to be a very solid deal because they're kind of, want to get out of that situation. Now, with that, I wanted to make sure we could check some things out because the SEC and the Big Ten are similar and different in how they analyze different teams. I actually want to check out and see, the big differences in what they go for, because one conference, the SEC, put a greater emphasis on watchability, greater emphasis on on-field production, whereas another conference is putting a higher, emphasis on TV markets. Let's check those out real quick. So when you come here and check this out, and again, this was an article from swimswam.com, and they're going to go ahead and break this down in terms of expected conference fan affiliations for these regions. They have, the Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12, and so on, and the total TV households in those conferences. So you see the fact that now again, this is kind of a weird situation because you're going to come up here and you're going to see that some of these are kind of dual, areas. Dallas-Fort Worth is SEC and Big 12, despite the fact that in that Dallas area, Texas A&M and Texas aren't there, but there is a large number of alumni that are there. But you can see the fact that at the top here, it's got a huge breakdown for what the Big Ten wants. The Big Ten wants this. Big Ten has 35 million TV households, whereas the SEC has 24 million, Pac-12 14, ACC 16, and then the Big 12 at 15, and then not associated is 4 million. And I believe that first one is actually, I'm telling you, man, San Diego State, they're going to benefit heavily from this, from the fact that they are not really associated with anybody. They are going to be a huge asset going forward to a certain conference. So you see the fact that, again, you saw that 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all, New York, LA, Chicago, and, DC, all in the Big Ten area. Now, the SEC's perspective, remember, and that's the reason why for the Big Ten, they added in Maryland, they added in Rutgers. You're like, they're not even good. But they had those markets in there. They added USC and UCLA, just a corner of the LA market, just to make sure that nobody else can claim that as their market. Now, if we check out and see what the SEC did, they added Texas and Oklahoma in there. Those are, Austin's not a great market. They do have access to Dallas, but you can see what their perspective is by checking out this chart right here. So I went ahead and I colored this, and again, this is based off a Medium ESPN.com article for the average viewers per game. This is not broken down. There's several different ways you can break this information down to be a more accurate representation. You can see that the green is the current Big Ten and the future Big Ten. As you can see down here, you'll see that I've got USC and UCLA both marked off in that green territory. And then the yellow is going to be the future SEC. You'll see the fact that we have, Oklahoma right here. We got Texas right here. So if you check out this top 20, I mean, what is that? This top 20 basically states the fact that the Big Ten has, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whereas the SEC has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So a definite advantage there. So that's the question for today's video. What do you think is a better strategy going forward? You see, the strategies are basically this, is that the SEC, and particularly ESPN, wanted Texas and Oklahoma really close, solid universities, can bring them in, will synchronize really, really well with the SEC. Whereas the Big Ten's like, screw it, let's add LA. I don't even care. LA, New York, DC, they're all in the Big Ten regions. What do you guys think is the strategy that they're going to use going forward in terms of other conferences? I actually want to make sure I can bring this up because I believe that the American kind of tipped their hand as to what the TV executives want and what the commissioners want too, because I think they're kind of leaning more towards the Big Ten strategy. So this was the news recently as last year when the American went ahead and the American got pillaged, and then the American added 6 members over to their new conference. They added, Charlotte, they added FAU, they added North Texas, Rice, UAB, and UTSA. So with that, think about that. They added Charlotte, Miami, Dallas, Houston, Birmingham, and San Antonio. That was their perspective. Because Rice, I mean, I'm going to go show you guys something that is absolutely shocking about Rice. Rice is the ultimate benefactor of where they are, not what they are. So this is the 109-year history of the Rice football, and you see the fact that they've got a couple things here. What was that last year? They were 4-8, 2-3, 3-9, 2-11, 1-11, 3-9, 5-7. Ooh, we got an 8-5 in there. They won the Hawaii Bowl like that, 10-4. They lost the Liberty Bowl. They're 7-6. But you see this, they got 5 bowl games appearances since 1962. That's what's added into that conference. But remember, Rice is a historical university. It's a really, really good educational school, and it's in Houston. So, like I said, what's your guys' perspective? What do you think that you would want your conference to do? I'll let you know that it looks like the TV executives and the conference executives are saying market first and then figure everything out from there. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all that stuff. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys later. I am out.